All right. He mixed with Dre, right? All right. How Fat Joe created a legacy of lies. I've been told they're saying he's earned his Hall of Fame cap badges right now. Fat Joe, that is, on his new podcast with Jadakiss. And he's telling the greatest stories ever. I never knew if I was just taking his word for it. I was just like, but the story that made me think about how this dude may be one of the greatest cappers this world has ever seen is when he was talking about, I think it was a story about Michael Jackson that died. It was a Michael Jackson story. I'll find it in editing.
In the history of hip-hop, one of the biggest artists to emerge from the Hispanic community without a doubt gots to be Fat Joe. From his early days of running with Big L and digging in the crates, to introducing the world to one of the greatest lyricists of all time, Big Pun, to Grammys and other awards. What happens when one feels their own accomplishments aren't enough, and they become prone to embellishing truths, to flat out being accused of making up stories?
Where he's out there talking and you let us liar talk. You know what a liar's gonna do.
See, Fat Joe get a lot of slack, bro.
Hey, Fat Joe, can you tell us a story? So this one time I'm in the Bronx.
Here lies the tales of the rapper Fat Joe.
They online violating boy,
who has placed himself on Mount Rushmore of rappers with the most questionable stories.
Game is definitely on Mount Rushmore. Game got some crazy stories. I didn't know that Jim Jones was on there, but Game for sure, facts. That's valid.
Classic stories.
He would wake up and be like, "Pass me the book." And he would have a whole song. He would write it in his sleep.
I guess he said he got a collab tape with Biggie, and everybody was like, "That never happened." It never happened.
Easy stories.
By the way, I was born in the hospital in the Bronx when Larry Davis shot them cops right across the street. I had an army since I was in kindergarten, bro. I'm telling you.
All Jadakiss does, all Kiss does is laugh. He don't even challenge him on. He just laughs. This is great. This is great. This is great. It's going to take the podcast further. I love it. This is excellent.
Scary stories that seem like they came straight from a campfire.
I'm probably the only rapper from New York that had physical beef with the West Coast. Right? There's a true story. My babysitters made up the "let me hear you say ho."
These are the not so true stories of
Oh, that's gonna be a good video. It's gonna be a good video.
Fat Joe. In 2025, if you are an older rapper past your prime trying to stir up controversy, who would be the best target? That's easy. Why not characters bigger than life that are not here to say, "You lie! You lie!"
Yeah, lying on a dead man is the best way to get there. Because, I mean, okay, lying on a dead man whose homies are still alive is not going to fly. Lying on a dead man and everybody's gone, you may can get away with it. But every Pac and Biggie story that he's ever told, everybody's been like, that never happened.
Of course, Tupac and Biggie.
And I was really, really offended by how Tupac and everybody was like really disrespected New York.
Before we go too far in this video, please do me one small favor and apply pressure to that subscribe button. Yes, apply pressure to that subscribe button.
How you get your hair like that, brother? And at what point did you decide this is the hairstyle that I wanted for myself? Like, did your hair naturally form like that? Hold on. Did your hair naturally form on that like that? Or you were just like, what's the process? I don't know. I just found that interesting.
Favor and apply pressure to that subscribe button. Yes, apply pressure to that subscribe button. Similar to Snoop Dogg, sometimes it can be hard to denote whether these Tupac stories are authentic. Being, of course, Tupac is no longer here. Fat Joe would do exactly that by once implying he pretty much is one of the reasons Tupac was kept safe in jail.
Tupac's in jail in New York, upstate, like an hour. So the Spanish guys, the Puerto Ricans, start trying to put pressure on Tupac. And they, yo, you got beef for Fat Joe, Bobby? Yo, is this, and it was really strong where he was at. And he gets on the phone and he says, yo, I don't got a problem with you.
The thing is, his delivery is so good. it's so good that like if we didn't have the internet, these are the type of storytellers slash fibbers that will probably get away, and like you'll have these kind of like hood legends, and you don't know whether or not it's real or not. For instance, like the Wilt Chamberlain 100 point game, you know, shit like that. There's no tape, there's no nothing. There's people that said it happened. Where's the fucking tape, nickel?
You know, this ain't got nothing to do with you, this and this and that. But you know, these Spanish niggas, they think I got a problem with you. They putting crazy pressure on me, you know. So I had to send a kite and let all the Latinos know, and they're like, yo, I ain't got no beef with Tupac like that. I just said that, he's cool. And then they wind up, you know, being allies.
Napoleon, a member of the Outlaws, would address this.
This class, this Mozart ass music is so good. What a great music choice to choose for this particular video and this particular subject.
It sounded like he did not want to upset Fat Joe, but everything wasn't adding up.
People got to understand what Fat Joe said, because I was there. I heard it out of Pac's mouth saying that Fat Joe Peoples held me down. So people got to realize what held me down mean. Held me down mean looking out. You know what I mean? Like, so for example, if somebody just say, he go something to drink, he held me down. I was thirsty. He goes some money in my pot. He held me down when I ain't had nothing in my.
What you're saying is that held me down can mean something that like it could be you looked at. Yeah, okay, exactly what Napoleon's saying. Exactly. It could be, it don't mean you saved my life. It just means that you contributed to me having a more favorable and easier and comfortable time in jail. But it's not like you kept the wolves off me. I get what he's saying.
Pocket. So he never said that his people protected him. From what I know, I don't know if he said in the interview that I didn't see, but what Pac told us is that his people held me down. So Pac never said that his people protected him. See, Fat Joe get a lot of slack, bro. I don't recall Pac ever saying he had an issue with with anyone in prison.
Now, this is another famous saying that Fat Joe had about legendary Tupac. But once again, it's just another story, a part of a long list of things that Fat Joe has said that there's always somebody around to say,
"You're lying." So shout out to Joe. I don't have nothing against him. I like him as an artist. I think he's dope. He's thorough. But I have to disagree with something that he's been saying on podcasts about Pac calling him about some Puerto Ricans putting pressure on him and Clinton.
This sounds like a popular part of his web of lies. I'm not saying you lying, Joey Crack. I'm not saying if you ever come across this, I'm not saying you lying. You know what I mean? I'm just saying that like this clip keeps appearing in this particular video, and it seems like a popular thing that you have said that people are trying to debunk is what it sounds like. So if it comes up again, like another person saying, I don't really know about that, then I don't really know about that. He got away with it, but he ain't get away with it. You know what I mean?
Tupac's cousin would come out and be more precise, stating this was far from the case.
I want to invite you to a free trading and investing workshop right here in Los Angeles that will forever change how
that shit out my face, shorty. Oh shit.
The reason why I'm questioning that is because I know how the Puerto Ricans roll in prison. But as far as Tupac being in prison and having to call Joe to keep the Puerto Ricans off his back because they think that he got beef with Joe in the street or some. I don't know about that. A lot of people who run the prisons in the New York State penal system are people that we know.
Of course, the stories don't stop there. This would definitely be a question that people had to ask, is how did Thug, Bone, and Harmony do a song with Tupac? Because Tupac didn't like people using that word thug.
I mean, yeah, it was some words said about Pac on the box before about who is these dudes claiming thugs and all of that. You know what I'm saying? You know how he was, a little hot-headed, and then, but once we all seen each other and face to face with it, it got squashed real quick.
But this led to the bigger question of how did they become one of the only folks to have a collab with both Tupac and Biggie in the midst of one of.
Don't tell me Fat Joe said he was a big proponent of this. Hold on, let me set up. That's gonna be a hard one to prove, Joe. It's gonna be a hard one to get right, man. Let me see.
Hip hop's biggest wars, and that is where Fat Joe came in.
They the first guys I ever seen to get that big. And you know, Big had asked me to plug them in with him.
Ah, shit. He goes big though. He's going heavy hitter lies. Like, I'm guessing he's gone under the radar. This is not something you just start. I think this has always been in him. It is not something he just started right when he got a podcast. So maybe he's flown under the radar this long because he started a little lies and he started building it up over time. But like, these are like lies that are like, they people still alive. You know what I mean? They dead, but like they're gonna be like, that never happened, brother.
To do Bone and Biggie. And so, you know, because they was cool with Tupac, they were like trying to play, you know, and so.
My homie thinks he's playing a character. He thinks that he's embellishing further lies to push the podcast, and like it's satire almost in a way. I don't know. You let me know in the comment box if you feel the same way.
I had to convince him, like, yo, I need y'all to do this for big. And because I know y'all were hesitant at first because y'all was like, yo, we know Pac. You know, we work with Pac. And I went in on y'all and I was like, yo, this ain't no beef. This ain't no nothing. Y'all need to get with big. And y'all did it. And boy, ain't y'all happy y'all did the Bone and Biggie?
Now, he may have been, that may be true though. That may be a half truth that like I talked to him and said it's a good idea. That don't mean I plugged y'all though. You know what I mean? I don't know if Bone Thugs actually challenged us and said, well, actually, this is how it happened. Not to say that you ain't talked to us about it, but this is how it really happened. It doesn't. Let me see if they say that.
That's a time this people.
Fat Joe's interpretation of being the one that linked up Biggie and Thug Bone was without context, not knowing that Thug Bone and Harmony already had an experience with Biggie.
Notorious Thugs came about, from my recollection, was Steve Lobel called me and told me that Biggie wanted to do a song with us. He said he talked to Puffy and Biggie wanted to do a song with us. You know what I'm saying? And we was like, hell yeah. You know what I mean? Right off the gate. So all that, whatever, let me clear that one rumor up that said we turned down Biggie Smalls and all. Man, we had never turned down Biggie Smalls. That was our friend.
Well, no, I never had any reservations, or I never had any reluctancy of doing a song with Big or Pop. You know, I think where that came in was, I think Busy had some type of
Look like Crazy Bones doing better these days. I know he had a little health scare a couple years back. He looks healthy though.
Felt some kind of way about doing the Biggie song because we had done the Tupac song. And you know, and I think, you know, Fat Joe did, you know, like convince Busy, like, yo, you know, like you need to go ahead and get on the song. You know what I'm saying? Like Fat Joe did do that, but I was gonna rock regardless.
When we had an issue back in New York a few years earlier, he helped us out of a sticky situation. So we already had a rapport. Him and Wish had a conversation, and that got us up out some.
You're about to lose $40,000 for your car accident because you don't know this one trick. Check this out.
I keep the ads on, so you know, YouTubers can get paid. I understand how it's like, you know.
Some things.
Why just leave Biggie Tales to one measly story about introducing them to Bone when you can do even better? Why not tell everybody about this album you had with one of the most coveted rappers of all time?
Yeah, that's the one. That's the lie. That's the popular one. It's the popular lie right here that he said he had an album with Biggie. That's the popular one.
Whose verse on any track after he died would be worth millions.
He made a bunch of songs, you know what I'm saying? But they was like really disrespectful and hateful, and so he died and Tupac died, and it was like, yo, bro, you know what I mean? So
what happened to the album? Of course, they must have destroyed it.
They might have burnt them shits, to be honest with you.
Burnt them shits? Like they was some witchcraft, like some Salem witch trial shit. They just burnt the files? It's crazy. That shit is ludicrous. It really is.
Because, you know, it was distasteful, you know what I'm saying, after the fact.
And how many songs did you guys do?
I don't know, but a couple. Not maybe 8 songs, 10 songs, you know, like that.
Ain't nobody hitting erase files on 10 records, Joe. Ain't nobody hitting. You telling me they deleted all 10? A full project, just fucking John Morant off 2 feet, scoop dunk that bitch right in the trash. Windmill that bitch right in the trash? Hell no. Hecky no. Nah. Ain't nobody going for that.
Now, I know a lot of you have heard about this story between some mysterious Fat Joe and Biggie album. I know I've had a lot of questions about it. Turns out, I'm not the only one that had questions if this album has ever existed.
You see all the stories he tell? You see the Biggie story he's talking about? That he did an album, that he did an album with Biggie. Yeah, that he did an album with Biggie. That's straight lie.
Cuban Links would have an interesting theory on why Fat Joe would lie about an entire Biggie album. The FBA.
He wants to put himself with the elites. He wants to be a tether. Isn't that what they say? The FBA says a tether. He wants to latch on to the legacy of Biggie now. He wants to latch on to the Biggie legacy.
So they trying to change the narrative. They're not from New York.
Right.
So they telling a whole nother story. This was whoopity doop wop. This, that, yo, bro.
I hear to play. I get to play because if you attach to Biggie, your legacy lives on forever too. In any way, if you're attached to him. Because a picture is not good enough. But if you have stories and nobody knew, and then you become like a Jeopardy pop quiz or some shit, become a trivia question. But I heard he not really in too good with the FBAs though. I heard that. I heard him. He's clashing and all that. But
this moment right here that I'm talking about, it really marks the true downfall of Fat Joe, because this is when people really started to pay attention. When Fat Joe went on this rant about how hip hop was created 50-50 between Latinos and blacks.
This is what they're saying. It's a common lie that they were saying y'all were around. Puerto Ricans were around. They didn't create the culture. You guys you benefited from it. That's what like Tariq Nasheed is saying and all that. And so let me hear him explain it better than I can.
My babysitters made up the, let me hear you say, oh, it's two girls, twins, used to babysit.
You ain't got no names for us, Joe? No, nothing. Just my babysitters. Oh shit. Goddamn. Kick her out the condo like Pam. Shit.
Lead to one of the most divisive conversations of last year.
Is that you a guest in hip hop? Something that I think Fat Joe even be forgetting sometimes, and that's why niggas be trying to remind him. I don't always agree with everything that Tariq Nasheed say, but situations like this, I understand.
I'm getting cracked pause on ads, but it's all good though. It's all good, my brother.
Universal
Get your money, get your paper.
Technical Institute's automotive technology program can help you develop the skills needed.
But part of the biggest blunder on Fat Joe's side, when he went on Math Hoffa's podcast and made a huge mistake of basically saying, all you niggas is broke.
We got a fucking Looney Tune, like your man Lord Jamal, who's a fucking Looney Tune.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he's a loony bin. What I'm trying to tell you is that this opinion comes from a tribe.
Right.
It comes from a group of people that hate everybody but them. You know, there's radical Jews, there's radical Catholics, there's radical Puerto Ricans.
Right.
There's radical anything. If you do enough of that shit, enough of in-house racism, you wind up looking at the world fucked up and we can't even move around.
Right.
You understand? So that's how this shit come about. These guys don't like nobody but them. It's a group of these guys that don't want to hear Jamaican, don't want to hear Guyanese, they don't want to hear a black guy that ain't down with them.
Right.
Right? So their job is to criticize anybody who don't look like them or who ain't black American.
Who are these guys?
Here go the $1 million question. Who are these guys?
You want me to say it name? We're going to give them too much clout.
I mean,
the FBA, Foundational Black Authority, whoever the fuck these broke niggas is.
Yeah, I can see that upset a lot of people, Joe.
You see this nigga who run them? Like, you know, your leader?
This whole debacle would lead to not only Lord Jamar replying, but Tariq Nasheed not only disagreeing with Fat Joe, but turning him into an enemy of an entire culture. It just happened to be the culture that got Fat Joe where he is today.
On Math Hoffa's My Expert Opinion, basically he wasn't happy with part of the foundational Black Americans. He attacked foundational Black Americans. He attacked me.
There's no small group of anything. There's 43 million foundational Black Americans, and they kind of feel a certain way about the actions of a white Latino who's running around here trying to pull rank.
He's really good. Tariq Nasheed is really good putting together certain buzzwords to take to aim the cannon and make an enemy out of somebody. He's good at cultivating outrage. He's really good at that.
Among Black people, after you've been eating on foundational Black American culture for this long. This is why they keep trying to crowbar this thing where they created hip-hop 50-50 so they can't look like they're leeching off of foundational Black American culture. And again, they're still upset over the film Microphone Check. The movie Microphone Check shut down a lot of those lies.
All these people who have been ingratiated by hip-hop is that if you took it back to your so-called roots or to your motherland or whatever the case may be and asked them to support you, you would not be where you are today.
And just Fat Joe.
Gunshot in the air.
Sitting up there, a white Latino.
You look a gunshot.
Using the N-word over and over again. And he's in a room full of Caribbeans. Our brother Math Hoffa, he's Caribbean. From what I understand, many of the other gentlemen in the room were Caribbean, and a lot of people felt a certain way about that too.
Soon, doctored videos of Fat Joe getting booed begin to appear because lies attract more lies.
You're lying!
That ain't even realistic though. I want to see how many people was going for this because Joe not saying nothing to the crowd and getting booed that loudly. Hey, it gets ugly when you go to war. When you go to war, it gets ugly, especially on the internet. We got AI and all that. Oh yeah, 50 Cent uses AI crucially to weaponize against his enemies. Oh yeah, it could get really ugly. It could get really scary for people in the age of AI. This shit gonna get like he said, you fight lies with lies. Is he singing over the booze? They got this shit so Dr. niggas singing melodies over the booze. This shit is crazy.
Don't
you when I told you, and niggas is booing his ass, boy. That's some great piece of content. Though a lie and propaganda. That's some good. I would have got a kick out of that if I was editing that. I would have been laughing the whole time in Final Cut.
take classes, take charge. Start your comeback today at PurdueGlobal.edu.
But something interesting would happen. This particular time, instead of someone else coming to say that Fat Joe didn't know what he was talking about, Fat Joe kind of did this on his own.
Particularly people from the Bronx, particularly the people who were the pioneers, who were there at the beginning, who told the truth about
it's a very serious video. Is there any other? I want to hear some of the funnier lies. Maybe he'll get into that. I think he'll get into that because this is the FBA shit that I already know. But I want to hear like the that we know their lies, but it's entertainment. I want to hear those.
Beginning of hip hop, and it was not 50-50. It wasn't 50-50. Now we got to understand Fat Joe. People have accused him of being a pathological liar.
I had a Cuban father. He was telling me the plain truth. He was like, you're not going to make it. Have you seen any Spanish guys make it in this shit? You're done. So my father actually saw hip hop born. He was like,
there we go. Now we're getting into the good ones. This is good. This is good cap. You know, when you start, you know, and to get into a proxy war and a potential race war, I don't really like. I want the harmless lies that we can laugh at.
all the Spanish people doing this, Poppy. Like, you have no chance.
Fat Joe.
My father seen hip hop be born, and my babysitters came up with it. Here, let me hear you say ho. Yeah. This is where we at. This is hip hop right here.
Consistent hosts of the BET Awards would make an unexpected announcement.
The BET Hip Hop Awards for third consecutive year.
You know, thank you. I resigned as host to the BET Hip Hop Awards.
From this moment on, a microscope was placed on Fat Joe, and every story he told in the past, one of the most criticized ones, has got to be the gym story.
What were you like in high school?
Terrible. The biggest bully. I once robbed my whole gym. The whole gym.
Like
70 kids without a gun. Like, yo, everybody give me your codes.
70 kids, no hammer. 70 kids, no hammer. Oh, they should have dogpiled your ass. Pulled the mace. And who is this nigga?
Give me your Walkmans. Give me your this. Some of the kids I was actually cool with.
I'm surprised you ain't have a bunch of Rey Mysterios, Chris Jerichos, flying knees, flying moonsaults, all type of shit going on. There's no way you just hauling out 70 coats, a Walkman, somebody's shoes, somebody's socks. You got somebody's friendship bracelet, somebody's promise ring, and you just carrying that bitch out to school? Absolutely not.
And I was like, yo, run it. Everybody, run it. I couldn't even carry it. Some of the guys I robbed had to help me carry this.
They had to help you carry they shit. Good cap. These are good cap. Good cap. Good cap. Like Oprah Syverson be saying, good cap.
Stuff with him. Terrible.
Now, of course, there's really no way to confirm this crazy story by
those are the best lies. The way there's no way to confirm it. That's why they tell the lies. When you start telling lies that can be proven that they are lies, it's no longer fun anymore.
Fat Joe.
I actually encourage this lying. Yeah. I don't give a shit what you think. I think it's just good entertainment. Fuck it. It's not harming anybody. It's not endangering anybody. It's not tainting anybody's legacy. He's not throwing no smut on nobody's name for the most part. There's probably been some lies he's throwing smut on people's name. But the good, harmless lies are just like, I robbed 7 niggas. No names being told, no information, no details. Just, I robbed 7 niggas. I had it like that. They was carrying their own coat. I had the Honda Accord packed out. So whatever he was driving, I don't know. Yeah, I had a haul. Yeah. Shorty was hauling her bundles of weaves. Yeah, I get that to my shorty. All the heels and everything. Yeah, lip gloss. I said, yeah. I was passing it out to my little shorties. I like that. I love that. Good cap.
Just like a list of other things and other stories that Fat Joe has told, it just don't sound believable.
Because I did a list, Fat Joe's top 5 biggest lies.
Yes. Good cap. Yes. Let's create the list of greatest lies by Fat Joe. I'm here. Yes. Back to back. Yes. Magic Johnson voice.
The biggest lies was that he said he robbed a whole gym.
Yes.
A Bronx school gym. The Bronx.
Mm-hmm. Boogie down Bronx. Yeah. I'm like that.
I saw Fat Joe when he was younger. He was a fat kid. Now, knowing how gyms are at recess in school, at any given moment, there's going to be between 70 to 150 kids in there one time, right? He said he robbed 70 kids by himself at no weapon.
Comedy, along with the internet.
Yeah, we live for this shit. This is hip hop. I mean, most of these niggas in hip hop lying anyways. How many niggas in hip hop really telling the truth? Let's keep it a B. It's good shit. This is what this culture is made of. Yeah. Of course, all the other great things and all the great pillars and the messaging and all that. You know what I'm saying? Black empowerment, power the people. Support the poor, crush the rich. All that is beautiful. All that. Rags to riches. Pull yourself up by the bootstraps. Help your people. Beautiful. Do something for yourself when they don't. When they. There's in the midst of poverty and food deserts. get that money, go eat, give it back to your community. Yes. But this culture was built on lying. Lies. Lies. Niggas is lying their way to the top. Yes.
Has its own way of showing this.
What you like in high school?
Yes, and they start doing the skits. Oh yeah, I'm here for it. Yeah. He got away with it. But he ain't get away with it, you know?
Terrible.
Look at them niggas. Minimum a layup. Give it up. Niggas playing horse, doing mic and drills. All that. Give it up.
The biggest bully.
Yeah.
I once robbed my whole
Everybody's double dutching. Hand it over.
gym.
I want the jump rope too, shorty. Yeah.
The whole gym.
All of it. The jump rope too. I need that too. Yeah, I need that. I need that.
70
Like,
kids
robbed them?
without a gun. Like, yo, everybody give me your coats, give me your Walkmans, give me your this. Some of the kids I was actually cool with. And I was like, yo, run it. Everybody, run it.
Run it. And like, you know, after, because we was cool, after they helped me carry this, I said, so I'm going to see you tomorrow, right? I'm going to see you tomorrow, right on the corner right here. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We could. You be easy though. Hey, I appreciate the donation. Yeah, real slime shit, real slime ball shit. Yeah.
I couldn't even carry it. Some of the guys I robbed had to help me carry this stuff.
Can you please help me? It's a little heavy, you know. Hey, I appreciate you. Thank you.
Terrible.
Hey, Fat Joe, can you tell us a story? So this one time
They can make a conversation with it. Hey, where'd you get this? This is a nice Walkman. Where'd you get this? My mama gave it to me.
in the Bronx,
My mama gave it to me.
and I got like 10,000 guys with me.
Mm.
Some very serious guys.
Mm.
And at the time, I'm already Fat Joe the Rapper, and I'm walking around with some of the most gangsterous guys in New York City history.
Mm.
And I know the internet is going to say Fat Joe, he's a liar, he's a capper, but I've been around.
Mm.
So we in the Bronx and we walking down the street, and we see this group of people by this bodega. And it's like, it's mad people at this bodega, and there's this one guy in the middle. So the guys I'm with, they flock over to the crowd, and I'm trying to see what's going on because the people in the crowd, they weren't happy of what this guy was doing. They
couldn't do nothing with me though. Fat Joe, nigga.
were exuberant.
Exuberant. Yeah. Start throwing out them SAT words.
So as I approach, I see this guy, he has on like some Air
Jesus Jerusalem is crazy.
Jesus Jerusalem Jordan flip-flops. I don't know what it was, but it was fly.
And I need them shits.
Now this story wouldn't be complete if Fat Joe lies would be so.
Yeah, throw the Moses 5s in a bag, beloved. Yeah. You throw that, yeah.
Extended that he would even lie on himself.
The Book of David 7s, I need that.
In an interview, Fat Joe would go on to state that he is nothing like his verses, that he lies in 95% of his stories.
I've been rapping professionally for 30 years. I've lied in almost 95% of my...
Yes! I've lied in 95% of my raps. Oh, I love this nigga. Pause. I love this. I love this game. I love it. I'm not gonna lie.
My songs.
Yeah. This is immaculate content. This has made my whole day. I was having a fucked up day. I ain't gonna lie. This is a great way to end my day.
Lied.
Like how? What do you
just
mean?
go. I write like I feel that day. I'm just being creative. You know, if you could probably you couldn't build the jail high enough for the lyrics I've said on songs.
You couldn't build a jail high enough. Yeah, the mandatory and the mandatory sentence that they was gonna give me 1,000 years, according to what I was peddling. 1,000. That mean you would have died, came back, died, came back, died, came back, died, came back. Jesus, when Jesus comes back to earth, I'm still gonna be in jail. How I was giving it up.
Which are all untrue. What I am is a family man, the person who gives back to my community
Yes.
all the time, open businesses in my community. So the music would never amount to the actual person, Joseph Cartagena.
I'm Stilo Vino and I approve of this message.
The backlash was so plentiful that he would go on IG to attempt to reconstruct the state.
Don't clear up shit. I would have let that shit rock. If I'm Fat Joe's team, let that shit rock, man. Oh yeah, we about to be rich. Yeah. You need some renovations to your kitchen, right? You say you want to take the wifey and the family to Spain this year, right? You want to buy some more property, right? The Miami Heat games that you like? You want more season tickets, right? Keep lying to these niggas.
So when I get up in there and I say, yo, 95% of the stuff I say ain't true, letting them know. Like, if you could think Rico Love is on here is one of the greatest songwriters ever made. You know, the album that Usher sold 10 million, everything, Rico Love wrote that. There's no way Rico could tell me every word was real, because it's not. We move off of inspiration, and so we get inspired.
Hold on. He gonna say Rico Love and leave out Jermaine Dupri. This is neither here nor there. I'm just gonna let the cap artist do what he does. Allegedly, I'm not saying this, Fat Joe. You see me in the streets, I want no problems. All right. By the time you see me, by the time I pop and everything, you probably gonna be like 65. I don't think you gonna really want to press the issue. No way. You know what I mean? I just think that you too old to sit in a jail cell, because I will snitch. I'm a civilian. I'm not a gangster. Yeah, I made a decision at 16. I was not gonna be a gangster. I was gonna go to school, get an education, and do what I need to do to pay back my student loans and do it the square way. So if you lay a finger on me, yeah, no look point. No look point. Yeah, no look. Yeah, I'm Tyrese Halliburton in the witness protection. Yeah, no look. No look passes.
And then one day I'll go to the studio, I'm mad, so I write some fuck the police. One day I'm happy with the family, I go in the studio and I write about love and peace and tranquility. And then I write some gangster shit. You know, what I'm explaining to you, putting myself on CNN on the hot seat for hip hop culture and hip hop music. And I had to say 95% of what I say is a lie, so that they could understand that it's unfair to try some kids for the rest of their life.
95% is a high ass percentage though. That's crazy. That means, like, nigga, what did you say was real? Is your name even real, nigga? Like, I gotta go to Wikipedia and see if you even got a real. Like, I thought your name was Joseph. I may go to that bitch and your name may be your name might be Willie. 95%. What are you telling the truth about? That's a high percentage though. That's a high clip. You're lying at a very high frequency, and I love it. I do. I want to be the first to tell you I love this shit. I love this shit.
Now I know we've all heard the term of the energy that you put out there, the universe will take that and put it back on you.
Rapper Fat Joe has been hit with an explosive $20 million lawsuit for
20 million. Ooh.
Allegedly coercing his ex-hype man into thousands of sexual acts. In a graphic 157-page lawsuit, Terrence T.A. Dixon accuses Fat Joe, whose legal name is Joseph Cartagena, of more than a decade of abuse.
A former...
That nigga name ain't... Nah, his name is Sweet Willie. He's Sweet Willie because I can't even take for a fact that your name is really Fat Joe. How do we know this for a fact? How do we know? This nigga's lied about everything. Okay? And at least he's honest about it. Yeah, I lied to you. It's about everything.
Member of Fat Joe's entourage would file a claim stating that Fat Joe has a history of Diddy-like moves.
The details so disturbing that there's a big trigger warning in the red on the first page of that filing. Dixon alleges that in the lawsuit, Cartagena forced him to, quote, humiliating situations, including sex acts, performed under duress and surveillance. Dixon claims he personally witnessed Cartagena engage in sexual relations with girls as young as one of whom Cartagena was allegedly in love with and contemplated leaving his wife for. An attorney for Cartagena says the lawsuit is a blatant act of retaliation.
So I'm going to read through a few of the pages from this Fat Joe lawsuit that
it didn't go nowhere, right? I don't know what the update on this. I guess he's gonna say in the video because I don't remember them. I can't see Jadakiss sitting next to somebody that's a predator like that in that way. So this must have gone nowhere.
was brought forth by his former hype man by the name of Terrence Dixon. He defended Fat Joe's control over plaintiff extended far beyond mere financial exploitation or denial of credit. Over 16 years, defendant cultivated a deliberate environment of psychological manipulation, intimidation, and persistent threats to ensure plaintiffs' continued submission, silence, and loyalty despite ongoing abuse, exploitation, and humiliation. The defendant employed persistent verbal abuse, threats of physical violence, erratic and insufficient payment, manipulative control over travel and accommodations. Plaintiff was routinely coerced into engaging in sexual acts with women, specifically brought by defendant Fat Joe to hotel rooms and private gatherings following performances and studio events.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Defendant Fat Joe frequently arranged and orchestrated these encounters, intentionally creating scenarios.
See, when you start getting into the dark shit, it's not funny no more. It's not fun no more. Now I gotta get serious. Now I gotta get like this. The part I do not endorse this part. Yeah, this if you get to this, if they clip me out of context and say I don't stand by all of this shit. You know what I mean? I stand by like the like I said, the harmless lies that don't endanger nobody, don't coerce, none of that. None of that. I like fun, harmless lies. White lies are the funniest shit in the world. The lies that SZA be telling, like if we keep it at a SZA white lie level, it's hilarious. When we start getting to the criminal I'm not really for that. You know, party's over.
Defendant Fat Joe regularly monitored these encounters closely, frequently remaining in the room to watch, record, or provide explicit direction and command.
That's some sick shit, man.
Even if you may question this claim of Fat Joe's antics, one thing that's undeniable is this is just another scratch on the legacy of hip-hop's most prominent Spanish gangster rapper, who more than likely will be remembered as one of the biggest fibbers in an industry that once thrived on authenticity, giving himself the title of hip.
They all fucking liars, man. They're all liars. Most of them. Most rappers are liars. It's okay. It's okay. Are the lies entertaining? Most of them are playing a character any damn way. That's fine. It's just as long as it's fun lies and you're not endangering nobody and you're not doing no evil shit with it. You know what I mean? That's fine. Lying is fun. Lying is hilarious. It's very hilarious when it's not endangering nobody. It's fucking comedy. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Lie Tina. Thank you for watching. And if you like this documentary, you'll like my other documentaries like the one I did on Big U, and I got another one that
you're brave to do a documentary on Big U. I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. You're brave.
I did on Snoop Dogg, the king of Fence City. Well, anyways, you know how we like to end our videos over here at Moxie Approved, right? With that water. I see y'all here next time on Moxie Approved.
Shout out to you, Moxie Approved. I'm gonna drop the link in the description box down below. Good video work. Good video work. I enjoyed it thoroughly.